The question that we've been asked is what is balance sheet and how do we do it in uLaw? To do that, you would go into the accounts panel, click on document generation, and you can do blind balance sheet here. There's a detail, category, summary, and date range. I'll talk about detail and date range in this video. So detail is you just click on this, you choose a date, let's say it's today, or I would say some beginning of some quarter, let's say March 31st, and you just hit the download button. The detail, what it does is it gives you the balance sheet, it gives you a summary and everything. So this is your balance sheet of your trust, your bank, your cash. That's basically your assets. Then it moves on to the liability section. It gives you all your liability totals and it totals up the liability. Then comes your capitals, your capital in the firm, the drawings, it gives you that view. And finally, it gives you a view of your revenue and then your expenses. Now once it's done that, then what we do is also we kind of give you like an overall summary of a subcategory. Like, that's just basically all your subtotals and your totals for assets, liabilities, capitals, and revenue. And finally, we give a full sheet summary view of the balance sheet, your total assets, capital, and revenue. And then we also give you like a retained year view, which is like, the difference between your revenue and your assets and how profitable you are in your company. The part 2 of the question is what's the difference in balance sheet between detail and date range? Date range is a view for you to actually compare yourself with the balance sheet between two ranges. Like for example, let's say you want to do a comparison of this quarter at the beginning of the quarter and end of the quarter, right? You could do that using the balance sheet date range comparison. What it does is it does the same thing like the detailed balance sheet, but it basically gives you a comparison right in the report between the two. So that's your April view and that's your June 30th view. So right here you can clearly see that you kind of get a view that, hey, your assets and prepaid deposits have not moved, but your furniture assets have moved. Similarly, you can look at your revenue. The revenue is very interesting because you kind of are moving in the right direction with respect to all your revenue. Your advisory role hasn't changed. You haven't made anything new. Similarly, your expenses, you can say, hey, Sam Anderson Consulting has not changed, but your recovery of expenses has moved. That means basically in this quarter for your clients, you kind of spend like about $9,000 more. What I also like is the summary report also does the same thing. It kind of builds the April view and the June view and does a comparison. And the best of all is the final summary view where you clearly see that your profits are moving in the right direction, your revenue is moving in the right direction, the expenses are good, well under control, how's your capital changing. So you kind of get a very good view of how your company is behaving on the comparison. So to summarize, when you click the document generation in the accounting panel under balance sheet, you can either do a detail, you can just do the category, you can just do the summary, or you can do a date range comparison.